Like I said, it happens, and hopefully some kids can learn from it, but just don't get caught.
I'm down to dunk.
And I'm down to dunk. I'm down to dunk. This is J-Dub, and I'm down to dunk.
I'm Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, and I'm down to dunk.
This is Lindy Waters, and I'm down to dunk. I'm Mike Muscala, and I'm down to dunk.
This is Jay Will, and I'm down to dunk.
This is Kenneth Williams, and I'm down to dunk.
This is Lou Dort, and I'm down to dunk.
Will you say this is Lou Dort and I'm down to Dort?
This is Lou Dort, and I'm down to Dort.
Cracklin Oat Brand?
Have you had Cracklin Oat Bran?
No,
No. Okay.
but it's healthy.
Are you a big oat brand guy?
I'm a big Oat Bran guy.
Okay.
I think I would switch it with Fruity Pebbles.
Okay, eat faster. Don't put as much in the bowl.
You have a gallon of milk I can also take home.
You don't have milk at home?
Wine, cinnamon toast.
Okay.
Crunch. Yeah. Cereal is great. Yeah.
Good morning and welcome to episode 1, 3, 5, 9 of Down to Dunk. You can find us on The Athletic and anywhere else you subscribe to your podcast. Go to theathletic.com/down to dunk and get The Athletic for $1 a month for 6 months. I am Luke, joined this morning by Andrew.
I gotta say, I'm just fired up to be here today. It's pretty cool. Pretty damn cool. Woo!
Slam throw.
And Jay.
It's Jay.
It is Jay.
Hey, make sure if you haven't done so and you're looking for some down to dunk swag, go to our Shopify page, which you can find the link on our Twitter bio, and get you. We got some of the Rumble shirts, which Andrew and I are wearing right now if you're following us on YouTube. And we also have some of the original down to dunk logos. And so check that out on Spotify,
Spotify.
Shopify and Spotify.
We are on Spotify
Yeah,
as
we
far as
are.
a podcast. So
True.
that's what I meant.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Luke is back.
Oh, man's back.
I'm back.
We missed you, man.
I wasn't here last week. I was on a plane.
Were you in the morning on Friday on a plane?
I was on a yes.
I was on a yes.
Yeah.
Who'd you see? Who did you go see in Arizona?
Is his name Zach Bryan?
Oh, cool.
Oh, really?
Country.
Did you like
guy.
it?
You know any Zach Bryan songs?
I know one.
Let's hear it.
I don't know what well enough to say it to sing it, but I was unfamiliar with his work really prior to that weekend. But he put on a very enjoyable show.
You know, it's from Oklahoma.
I did know
There was
that.
a Zach Bryan question on the Monday pod from
Really?
somebody.
Wow. And everybody's like,
Yeah.
he's
fantastic.
He just released a new album.
And he's
Is he?
coming to Oklahoma City on
Oh.
that tour in the spring.
Really?
Wow.
Yep.
How about
Well, he
that?
puts on a great.
I'm going to get some
Show.
tickets, I think, man. I want to go see it.
It's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun.
He's good.
He is good.
That's a
He's very
good genre of music for me right now. Like, I love kind of that country, more, kind of older style of country, singer-songwriter. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying?
I do know what you're saying.
Hmm.
What else do you do while you're in Arizona?
I played golf, and I'm not very good at golf.
What'd you
and
shoot?
I like in the thousands.
In the thousands.
Feels good, man.
I had, I would say, a hand like 4 to 5 shots. I was like, that was pretty good.
That's the thing about golf. It's kind of like gambling where you have like the one time that you hit.
Mhm.
And you're like, man, I could maybe make all the money if I keep doing this.
Did that every time.
Yeah, it's like golf is the same thing. It's like, oh, that went straight and kind of far. Like, I think I could be a professional golfer.
I hit one that was like there's roads around, just straight onto the fair, like the fairway, not the fairway of the golf, but the fairway of like an active like highway.
Yeah. I played Coffee Creek here in Edmond. This was 15 years ago. And on my drive, I hit and it went like perpendicular to where I was aiming.
Uh-huh.
and hit a garage door with such force. Sound like a gun went off.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
no.
I'm not proud of this, but I quickly got in my car. I said cart.
Tart.
I got my cart and skirt.
Skirt.
So
Got out of there.
So you didn't take ring the doorbell?
I wrote a note that said sorry and just put it over the huge dent in the garage door.
Sorry.
My bad.
So in the FIBA world, Latvia is 37 seconds away from knocking off Spain in the second round.
Still not knockout round though. It's some
Still not
sort of
knockout.
weird.
It's still group play number 2.
How are the Garuba Goobas?
Group of Goobas are going strong, man.
Losing?
He just got pulled out of the game because they need to make some threes. So
Not a lot of trust in him. How's my boy Davis?
Davis is taking some just bomb deep threes, man. Like he is just bombing from deep.
I'm ready for to see Davis, return to form for the Oklahoma City Thunder team.
Yeah. You say that, and I feel like
I'm not being sarcastic.
I feel like you're joking.
I'm not joking.
Davis has 16 points, 3 boards, 1 assist.
Wow.
He is 3 of 7 from 3. I think he's obviously not going to play all the time because this roster has a lot of players.
Well, and if they play him more than how many games? 75% of the season?
Then yeah.
Then his contract for next year is fully guaranteed at like 18 or 16 or something.
Yeah. So that won't happen. But I think there will be times where we'll see a lot of Bertans. And I think there'll be some Bertans moments.
What does he
predict.
play? Is he a 4?
He's a 3-4.
Can't guard, I'm assuming, many threes.
Can't guard many threes. It would definitely be like hey, they're playing the Sixers and PJ Tucker's out here. He'll never do anything on offense. We can put him out there.
Hey, so this leads me to a question. This is Jay's Twitter question.
Okay.
Don't hit the music. Do not do it. I said don't do it. So
Doing a live version.
don't do
questions.
So
Remember when we used to sing top 5 power rankings live on the show?
we've done a lot of things.
Yeah.
Jay's got questions and he asked them in person.
So what would be a lineup
Mm-hmm.
that is a legitimate basketball lineup? Like, not like, oh, what would be the weirdest lineup of just aliens or whatever on the basketball court? But like, I think Bertans would be somebody that I would say Thunder could put out the funkiest but real lineup. You would have Bertans, Chet.
If you did, so I got a lineup that had just like great spacing. We'll get there. Don't worry. Chet. I'm going Chet.
I'm going shit.
It's so weird. I don't know what was going on there. It just felt so strange. I would go SGA, Isaiah Joe, J-Dub, Bertans, Chet.
Can I sub one position?
Yeah.
I would sub J-Dub for Poku
Oh,
to just take it to a whole nother level.
but you said that no alien lineup.
True.
You
I'm like, I'm
specified
thinking that-
Latvia has knocked off Spain in the round 2.
Wow.
If you're listening to this, which only just a handful of you guys are listening live because it's 6:45 a.m. on a Friday.
No, they're just gearing up for the Australia game that's
yeah.
coming on here in a minute.
But big shout out to Latvia.
I'm just thinking of team like that lineup would do reasonably well on a basketball court.
Yeah.
But would just be strange.
Yeah. I mean,
I guess if you just put Bertans and Poku on the floor together at any time,
it'd be very strange. But if you put Bertans and Isaiah Joe out there,
so much shooting,
spacing the court, and like then if you just ran a pick and roll with Chet and SGA at the top.
Yeah.
Like how are you stopping what's about to happen?
Unstoppable.
Yeah. That's why shooting is so important.
Latvian national anthem.
Oh. Shout out to the Bertans brothers.
Pretty good.
This is a big moment for the Bertans brothers.
Sounds strong.
Shout out to our boy Davis, who
That's
is
his only job.
who is clapping back at the not clapping back, clapping with the audience now.
He's clapping back. Shut up!
Oh, you haters!
You like us now that we won? You weren't there when we were struggling.
Yeah, Bertans leads the Fighting Latvians with 16 points. So,
are you
34
watching?
Minutes.
How much of the FIBA are you watching?
We love you, Davis.
How much of the World Cup are you watching, like in the mornings, or are you just watching like replays?
I mean, yeah, I'll pop up and watch replay, basically, if there's something interesting going on. But if it's like a blowout, like I'm watching highlights.
This is why it's like I tried to stay connected to it in this last couple weeks,
Yeah.
but now I'm like, this is where it starts becoming more interesting.
Yeah,
Because the second round is weird. I actually don't know how it works, but it's not a elimination round. Like it's not one and done. Knockouts are next.
yeah. I think if you lose 2, you don't move on to the next.
Yeah. So that's when it's going to be the quality of who's playing who is going to be like substantially better.
Yeah, definitely.
Because there have been a lot of blowouts.
Yeah,
Part of that is because there's like 2 teams that are superior to everybody. Although USA played Montenegro last night and only won by I think 11.
yeah, 12. Yeah, they beat them 85-73. And these are shorter games, just in case like you're not following this at all. Let's see.
15 minutes.
Ant Edwards had 17. Jaren Jackson had 11. Austin Reeves had 12.
How's Brandon Ingram?
Poor Brandon Ingram had
DMP CD?
no. The only DMP CD was Cam Johnson.
What?
Bi had 2 points on 3 shots, 5 boards, 3 assists. He's really struggled in this kind of role. He's like whatever the opposite of Olympic Melo is. That's what Bi is.
Regular season, late career Melo?
He's like Melo now.
Yeah, Melo right now.
Current Melo, what he would do in FIBA is probably this.
Actually, probably still better.
He actually might be better. Because Bi has been pretty terrible. His last game was okay, but this
Plus, Carmelo steps up on the international stage.
he does. Bi falls asleep on the international stage. It's weird because he was like supposed to be like one of like the guys.
Yes.
To begin like this Team USA.
It must just be either this. Is it the style that they're asking him to play? Is it I don't know.
I don't know.
Is he more ISO? Is that kind of his thing?
Yeah, I mean he's more ISO. He's more mid-range.
He brings the ball up a lot.
Yeah.
With the Pelicans.
Yeah. He's more suited for the NBA, certainly. But it also shows that, I mean, even like a Mark Daigneault style offense is probably well more suited for FIBA,
Yeah.
And it's just weird to think about a player like him not doing well. Basically like a 7-foot ball handling shooter, like not doing well in FIBA is weird to me. And like Josh Hart just being like just a much better player for this team and like supplanted him as a starter and all that. It's just odd. But if you want to hear more FIBA talk, you can go to the Athletic NBA show. Alex and I had J.E. Skeets of No Dunks on, and we talked about Team Canada. That is out there right now. We just went ahead and released it right away after we recorded last night. And pretty close Andrew versus the Beat. I won't give it away, but pretty close competition between me and Skeets on Canadian basketball trivia, which was quite niche.
Very niche. But it is, if there's ever been a time to do Canadian basketball trivia, that time is now. Because
the time is now.
They are running over.
Holy smokes. They're really good. Hopefully Dort's playing today. I don't know what his status is.
What happened?
He has sat out the last 2 games with soreness is what they've listed it with.
Just generic soreness?
Just sore. He's just feeling sore.
Sore. You know what he says when they say, they're like, I can't play. He says, sorry.
Didn't know where you're going. But that was...
I can't play. I'm too sore.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Wow.
You're really sticking with it.
He's really trying to deliver this one home. You guys didn't hear it.
Sorry.
Miguel Davila said BI is Houston Mello now.
I forgot he was in Houston.
He also did. Remember those pictures of him on the beach wearing that Rockets like long sleeve, like that like thin hoodie, where it's just like pasted to his body. Looks like it was painted on. You just see every Mello roll.
I love it.
It was great.
Mello, top 5 favorite basketball players of all time.
Awesome. Yeah. And he had a, hilariously kind of sad time here in Oklahoma City, but how cool was it that Carmelo Anthony put on a Thunder jersey and played in our city? That's still so cool.
I remember when it was announced.
I blame Donovan.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I blame Billy Donovan.
Yeah. I think that's fair. I think.
Just saying,
Actually blame Mello and PG and Russ for just thinking that they were the best team that maybe ever existed.
If Dre wouldn't have got hurt, we'd never know.
If Andre Robertson didn't get hurt.
Greatest what if.
He was the glue that held the pieces together.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
And then it literally came apart and they lost in round 1.
It's the amount of hindsight that all of these people that are like that 2000, 17 or 18 Cleveland Cavs team. If it wasn't for the Warriors, they were, were they? Or
what's going on
how
here?
did this all of a sudden happen? Same thing. I was like, if Andre Robertson would have not gotten hurt.
There was just so many things, though, that they just fell flat on their face. Remember Paul George before the playoffs said,
God,
y'all haven't seen playoff P yet.
And he delivered in one game.
And then remember in the elimination game how
was
bad he was?
16 or something?
And just obviously did not want the ball. Just didn't want the ball.
I know. You know who did, though?
Russ, and he shot 57 times.
And Ricky Rubio outplayed him in a series. That was
such a brutal series.
Yeah, that one hurt. Portland hurt.
Portland hurt the next year.
Yeah.
Portland didn't. I felt like the Jazz one felt worse.
Yeah, because they just completely deflated.
Yeah.
Portland, it was I don't know, still really sucked, actually. I'm trying to make it spin to better. It still sucked.
Portland, it felt like, okay, this team might need to die.
Yeah, we were all ready. Yeah. I was ready.
Yeah.
And the Steven Adams, Enes Kanter debacle was where I was like, okay, I think I'm done.
Yeah. Yeah. That was
because we were all, it was the dream scenario.
It was the dream scenario. That is where that phrase came from.
Because we should have beaten Portland. Without question, we should have beaten Portland.
Yeah. I mean, you couldn't beat freedom. Can't beat freedom.
Can't beat it. Although that dude's kind of lost his mind. Huh?
He is absolutely out of his gourd. Okay. So anything else from FIBA? I mean, I'm excited to see Team USA. How do you think Team USA would match up versus Canada in I don't know, somewhere in the knockout round?
Loss.
Yeah. You don't think that they got a shot? Shea, you think Shea would be the best player on the floor? Does that not matter for something? You say it
no, I think USA loses.
Oh, you think USA loses?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So you're saying at the end you're gonna hear this. I kind of like.
Shout out Dort.
That's kind of a.
Is that him singing?
That's Dort. Yeah.
Wow.
Doesn't it sound like him?
That's kind of a. It's kind of a good anthem.
I like.
It's long.
I just like the way Canada. I mean, if you go through, you can go on the FIBA website and look through rosters. You can see where people are playing, and I mean, Canada is loaded.
Sorry.
Just play it again, man. Keep going.
It's only one. It's 1 minute 17 seconds.
Well, I'll tell you what. Whenever I hear it in the arena, it seems so much longer.
It's because it's like when they sing our national anthem. That you can kind of riff and make it really long.
Yeah,
you could riff on that.
Riff on that.
Yeah, it is. It just seems really long.
What do you think? Canada, U.S.
I mean, I think the U.S. has a deeper squad. I just think, especially from the big man position, when you throw
Walker Kessler.
Well, no, Paolo in it. You throw Paolo in there.
What's happening?
This is pregame of
Pregame
Australia,
dancing.
Slovenia.
It's like the raindrops.
It is the rain.
The Thunder game halftime, or the old lady aerobics.
Yeah. Oh,
Jazzercise, man.
That's when you know that they are running low on halftime acts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the U.S. should win. I mean, they should. They have a more talented team, but Canada looks better than them so far, I think, than the U.S. has looked.
Win.
So I'm not saying that I'm rooting for Canada to win, but it would be cool to see Shea and Dort. And
do we have to feel as conflicted as we do?
I don't know.
I think we should. At least we need to put the image out there that we're
tread lightly.
No, man.
Robot dancing with
there
them.
is a robot dancing.
Oh my gosh,
that's cool.
It's like look like a bunch of future Jabberwockies.
If you're not watching this, I think that's the FIBA mascot.
Oh, really?
I think so. If you're not watching this,
watching the FIBA mascot.
You should tune in to this
dancing.
FIBA mascot that is just
breaking it down,
cutting a rug, if you will.
I mean, he's got some move. Oh, he's got like
he has a face,
an electronic face that makes different faces.
It emotes. It emotes.
That is honestly better.
That's a great mascot.
Way better than Rumble.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I really like that.
It's good because it emotes and it has like
that. They should. I can't believe there's not an NBA mascot that emotes.
There's really not.
No, they're all very static.
They're
very old school mascots.
The first one to emote will. I mean that. You get a leg up
because you want it like Disneyland where like Rumble, you're seeing Rumble like blink and like
that
I would like and like eyes moving around.
That actually might freak me out.
That sounds wild. That's nightmare fuel.
Yeah, that really is.
I don't think. Yeah.
Then kids would think it was like real, like little kids.
They have turned. They have created a bison man.
Have you seen
a minotaur or whatever it is?
There would be kids that would believe that it was real. Maybe you can't do that. Team Australia is about to unleash their fury on Slovenia. Very interested to watch this one.
Yeah. Well, let's just quit the pod.
We're gonna concede.
All right. It's been good. I hope you guys have a great day, and we'll talk to you guys again.
I'm just waiting to talk about roster crunch.
Let's talk about. Guys, have you thought about who you think should make
play? Who's not going to play?
15-man roster.
The crunch.
But for real, shout out Lindy Waters. Glad he's back. Okay. Anything else FIBA related that we have not discussed? Thunder related. Josh Giddey has played well, leading Australia.
I am interested to see how, because I know you said it on the Wednesday Super Pod, but I am intrigued to see how this summer has impacted who these guys can be for this team, right?
Yeah.
Like if you look at Giddey, clearly the kind of leader of this Australia team, which is insane for a 20-year-old.
It's crazy.
But I don't know, like how does what they did in this tournament translate to who they can be on the floor? Because I haven't seen anything from Josh that's like, oh, wow. Like he's not shooting 43% from the three or anything. Like, but he's just more confident. He's strong. Like obviously the poster that he had earlier this week. Like,
yeah, that was cool. He's just more. I mean, he's just getting in the paint a whole lot more.
Yeah. So maybe that's what I'm saying. Like, so what is the thing that you think will be not because of this, but the evolution of the game over this summer? Is it going to be that Josh's free throws, at least attempts, are going to increase? I mean, 20%. It
would be great if it was 100% increase, because I mean he only took like a little over 1 per game. So yeah. I think that he's got to get to like 4. I think is a reasonable.
Now, what about Shea? Is there anything you've seen from him? Like, is he shooting better?
I mean, his shot looks a little smoother for sure. He just continues to do kind of the same stuff where he takes over in the third quarter and kind of picks his spots, but then just, hits the gas in the third quarter and is just unstoppable. I mean, there have been moments where you watch him play for like 5, 6, 7 minutes where you're just like, no one can do anything with him. And he uses his like stop and starts. I mean, he's putting guys on their butts. He's just such an incredible player. The Thunder are so lucky to have this guy as like the leader of their team, because like he's such a good player for the modern era. He even though like he is definitely like the best player maybe in the tournament, but certainly on Team Canada, he still plays within a team concept with like shot allocation and stuff like that for the team, and it makes them much better. And I think he does the same stuff for the Thunder itself. And it's just cool to see that like continue to play out. Like you can tell that he knows how to win, and like
There is.
I think they're going to have a real chance to do something.
50 wins, man. Call it.
You're wondering what the Australian national anthem sounds like?
Yeah.
Does that make you wonder? Okay, here it is. Shrimp on the Barbie. A dingo ate the baby. Foster's Australian for beer.
You just insulted so many of our
I'm so sorry.
We're so sorry to our Aussie friends.
Elman's Q rating is plummeting in Australia.
No.
Wow.
Here we go. I like that. That's good.
What if it was the exact lyrics that you just said?
Like we didn't know, but you were verbatim.
Barbie. That'd be dope.
I think the thing
Brendan Islam says, as a Kiwi, Elman is not wrong.
the New Zealand Australia hate is strong. I think the excitement that FIBA has created in me for this upcoming season is what has been great about it. And now it's also something that's kind of kept me engaged in the sports world before football season starts, which is right now. Here it is.
Yeah.
Stoops Troops.
Stoops Troops.
Stits trips.
Let's go, Stoops. It's good. Are you excited? Are you excited for football season?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's gonna be fun.
I was watching I haven't watched Hard Knocks on Max in a long time, or HBO.
Yeah.
And I turned it on this year because I was like, yeah, I don't have anything else to watch because Little League World Series makes me uncomfortable. It's like anyway, I don't know. It's just strange. And so I'm watching Hard Knocks, and it's so I grew. If you don't know anything about me,
who is it
totally
this year?
Fine. The Jets, Jets, Jets.
Okay.
So Aaron Rodgers was traded to the Jets this offseason, and so it's a big deal. Anyway, it's kind of fun. But my son is also playing his first season.
Yeah, he had his first game last night.
season tackle football.
How was that?
What's he playing?
It was football.
What position?
Just
is he playing?
he doesn't know. It hadn't been the greatest experience as far as them helping kids that maybe have never played tackle football learn how to play the sport.
That is literally
it's more like, hey, get out there and I don't know, maybe you can play
linebacker.
And they put him at linebacker, and he's like,
no
I don't know what I'm doing. Like nobody has taught me what I'm doing here.
Tale as old as time, Jay. That my first play, I didn't know much about football in general. Like I was very much like grew up like a basketball person, and I get out there, and our first play, it was on a kickoff. A guy runs it back, gets to the 20-yard line, and I clip this dude so hard. And he just eats turf. And I am just like so pumped.
Standing over him.
And my coach yells at me for 10 minutes afterwards. Schlacht! He just grabs me by my helmet and just drags me over. And I'm like, I have no clue what I did wrong.
Sorry, is that illegal? I thought it was awesome.
I thought I just did something awesome.
So it was kind of just a quick story from last night. So like I said,
he played
linebacker, like an outside linebacker, which I'm like, how are you in that position? But here we are. And he would be better at like a slot receiver, or I would put him at like safety maybe. But
yeah.
Anyway, so he's playing linebacker, and he has a few moments where he's like, he doesn't make the correct angle on a pursuit. And so like he is behind the guy when he crosses the line of scrimmage or whatever. It's JV 8th grade football. So it's they don't have a lot of like well-crafted plays. It's like get the ball from the center and then run around the
Does
corner.
everybody have all their pads on?
Yeah, it's
we're
like,
good.
that's basically that level.
Yeah.
And so he has this one play where he is in the right position. And my son is also, he's 14, but he's not physically, he hasn't hit that stage of puberty where he kind of became a young man versus he's still very kid-like as far, because he's not larger than anybody. He's just kind of in the middle.
But full mustache.
And he does have a full mustache, very light, but full. And the kid that's running the ball for Central, who they were playing last night, comes around the corner and he's the kid that hit puberty a little earlier. So he's already big and he's fast. And my son goes to tackle him and like perfect position, arms around, but the running back wins the battle.
No.
And so I'm like, I see him like form tackle this guy. And I'm like, yeah. And then I told him, I said, Andrew, I don't know what happened. I blacked out or something when I was celebrating, because then I opened my eyes and this guy is like 25 yards down the field scoring a touchdown. And apparently he just ran my son over. And the first thing my son says to me when he sees me after the game, Dad, you see when I got dump trucked by that guy? I was like, yes, I did. At least you're not like devastated as much as just like, well, that was a disaster.
Oh man.
But I was really encouraged by him, because he was like, hey, it's my first time to ever play this sport like this.
That's great.
I'm like, all right, well, go do it then.
That's fun. That's awesome. Elman, you got any advice for us?
I got some advice. Let's go through my top 5 advice for national anthems to listen to. Just kidding. Just
Number 1,
kidding.
Taiwan.
Okay, let's find it. Let me find it, because I don't have it yet.
No, man.
Hold up. Okay, it's coming. My advice. Okay, here it is. Advice from a person named Thomas. He wants some advice. He says, I'm going to my brother's wedding this weekend, and it's going to be filled with drama. I have a huge family, 9 siblings from the same parents.
Whoa.
And the dynamic is already interesting amongst everyone. This is the first time everyone has been together in 5 years, and the first time since the parents' divorce. My question is, how do you deal with family drama / awkwardness? And I have the perfect plan.
Let's hear this.
If there's going to be drama and awkwardness, he needs to be at the center of it.
Oh.
He needs to drink entirely too much, so the family is together and uniting against him.
Okay.
So they're like, oh my gosh, completely. He needs to go all out, drink way too much, fall down drunk, bring a date. It's a stripper. And everyone's like, oh my gosh, completely
This is
inappropriate.
not the way that I thought this was going to go.
Completely inappropriate.
Become the enemy of the entire family.
Exactly.
Unify
so
the
family has never been more united
against you.
Divorced parents are like, oh my gosh, we're on the same page about this. He's acting completely irresponsible.
I wish I had the monologue from the end of Dark Knight memorized, because that's what you're giving the advice toward.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what they need. He needs to be the one who brings the family together, but they're together against him.
So I have 2 ways to handle this advice. Okay. So you can handle it like my family does, where we just avoid everything that's awkward. That's how my family actually deals with it. The appropriate thing to do is to like have, and we just are so bad at this as a society, of like
Totally.
actually get together and hash things out in a way that is non-anxious and non-angry.
It's not happening.
I know. So since that's not real, you need to become the enemy of your entire family.
Yeah.
It's true. And what I'm saying is, if you can before, this is the perfect place to debut a facial tattoo.
I was gonna
Come with a full
just show
thing.
up in Joker makeup.
Joker makeup damaged on the top of your head. Yeah, that's what you got to do. But if you're not going to do that, I would say to watch well, it's a wedding. Sometimes there's open bars. Watch out about too much alcohol consumption. Take the Andy Bernard approach. Keep your wits about you.
Yeah.
Have a cocktail, but keep your wits about you.
Keep your wits about you.
But my advice is go full scorched earth.
Yep.
And everyone and then your fan. I mean, it will. I think that will solve it. And then you won't even remember that if it was any awkwardness.
It's true.
Go for it. Let's do some Twitter questions.
Let's take a quick break and then do some Twitter questions. And we're back after that quick break. It's time for some Twitter questions.
Twitter questions.
You got questions and you ask them on Twitter. Now we answer them for you. This is Twitter questions. Now let's get down to it. You got shrimps, put them right on the Barbie.
All right, our first Twitter question comes from @ZachDeeg, who says, would you trade Giannis for Presti? Yeah, I know you can't, but would you?
I mean, absolutely. I would do that. I think you could win.
Then bring back Troy Weaver. You'd be in great shape.
I mean, they've got people on staff that I think would do quite well and that know how to do things. I think Presti would probably advise the team to
You
do
need
it.
to do this.
Yeah, you should do this. This is on the table. You should do this.
I did see, obviously, the report is Giannis apparently in an interview mentioned something about, hey, this team needs to really go after it.
Yeah.
And of course, it started the old scuttlebutt.
It did.
About different teams that would be making some sort of push for Giannis.
Yeah.
The Thunder have the best assets to do something, but they are not probably the premier destination for a guy like Giannis, where he's like, oh, man, I've been dying to
Get
play
me to OKC.
Yeah, I love it.
That's the thing is like the Thunder will definitely have the best like trade package for almost anybody. However, when it comes to a guy who is in his prime like Giannis is, who's 28 years old and is just a super duper top 3 player in the world type of player, those guys have a say in what happens.
Yeah.
Especially when they're still under contract. He still has 3 years left on his deal. He's going to give a list of teams if he wants to go somewhere else.
It would be healthy for us to assume that Oklahoma City is not on that list.
They're not going to be on the list. Absolutely.
Although the way this roster is being constructed, if you wanted the best chance to immediately compete for a championship, I think for both the Thunder and Giannis, there would be a lot of benefits to that kind of move.
Yeah.
And also that depends on what you would have to give up to get a guy like Giannis. Like,
yeah,
they're not just going to take all of these picks. They're also going to expect J-Dub or Giddey or maybe Shet.
What if it was Giddey, Shet, and 3 unprotected first-round picks for Giannis? And then your team moving forward is Shea, Giannis, J-Dub, Cason Wallace, Micic, Jang, J. Will.
I mean, it's
Poku.
probably dumb
Poku.
not to do that.
Doesn't it make you feel bad though?
Yeah. It's
Like,
going to be hard.
that's
all fall in love with all of these guys.
And that's a great trade for the Bucks because the Bucks get back like to start your rebuild. 3 unprotected first, Giddey and Chet. Like that's really good. If you're the Thunder, you might say that's too much.
yeah, but it just sounds like such a homer take to say that
I don't like
It does.
anything is too much for Giannis. who-
Giannis and Shea and J-Dub is a unbelievable core.
Yes.
No, but it makes you feel bad.
Like, could they win the title with those 3?
Yeah.
They probably could. Because I mean, shout out Chris Middleton and Drew Holiday, but Shea is on track to be a much better player than those guys. Yeah, it's
Okay, if you
Not gonna
guarantee
happen,
if you
so
guarantee
moving on.
that they win, the championship, I would make the trade.
Well, it's why Masai Ujiri is the number 2 ranked GM of all time,
Yeah.
or of right now, because he gave everything to win that championship.
Yeah. It's true. It's true. Yeah. I mean, my guess is these kind of deals become more of a reality if Giddey, J-Dub, and Chet don't necessarily get close to the ceiling that we think they could get to as far as like a group, where we're like 2 years down the road and things aren't looking like they're heading toward like contention, and then you could turn around and try to get somebody. But I have high hopes for J-Dub and Giddey and Chet, to where it's probably more likely in my mind that that group stays together and competes at a high level than they do something like this. Because I just believe that Giddey and J-Dub and Chet are going to be really good. So if they're that good, you have more team control over those guys moving forward than you would over Giannis. But at the same time, if Giannis says, I would love to be in Oklahoma City, like Sam Presti, make it happen. That's the moment where you're ready to push the button, because Giannis will take you to the second round, if not Western Conference Finals, probably immediately. So
Do you think what do you think would bring him? That would be the thing that brings him here. Like the thing that's okay.
I mean, it would have to be, by the way, Giddey's dominating right now with his little floater. Is just playing so well. I think the thing that would bring him here is just the team culture, what they're building in Oklahoma City, and just the fact that, and obviously in this fake scenario where you could trade Presti for Giannis straight up, then you would have a just super duper team, I think. But if you're making an actual trade like the one I suggested, then I think what would draw him to it is playing with Shea, playing, with a team that still has a lot of excess picks, where you could go and form a team around those guys that has real longevity. Because I think with Milwaukee right now, the thing that is tough with them is that, man, in 2 years, where are the Bucks?
In trouble.
Yeah, they're going to have a 30-year-old Giannis who's still in his prime, ready to win titles, and the rest of the cast is going Middleton could be close to out of the league. Same with Brook Lopez. Drew Holiday, I think, will still be good, but he is more probably your third or fourth best player than your second best player. And then they don't have anybody else developing behind those guys. So that would be the reason why he would look elsewhere. But the truth is, when Giannis is ready to go, he's probably looking at Los Angeles. He's probably looking at Miami. He's probably looking at teams like that.
Yeah.
Because that's where all the superstars want to go. Maybe Golden
New York.
State. Golden State could put together a pretty interesting trade package. It gets
they don't have any young guys that you care about.
Their young guys get less and less interesting.
Like Moses Moody and whoever this
Jonathan
kid is they
Kuminga.
got from Santa Clara this year.
Yeah. Maybe it's
saying-
not interesting.
I'm saying boo to that.
Yeah, maybe it's not interesting. But
The Knicks would be real fun, especially if they can keep kind of this Jalen Brunson.
yeah, that would be wild. That would be wild.
I don't know who you would. They don't. I mean, Quentin Grimes and Emmanuel Quickly.
Yeah, still not anything that
No.
if you're the Bucks that you would be super enthused with. But yeah, I mean it's definitely an interesting conversation, but I think you have to take yourself plant yourself in a reality of what would could the Thunder put a bunch of stuff on the table and get Giannis and have a fair trade for Giannis and still have a ton of assets and a ton of really good players? Yes.
And they're about the only team that can do it that way.
Yeah, they're one of the only teams in the league.
Pelicans could figure something out too, probably.
Yeah, the Pels, you could just say hey, you want to start over? Why not Zion for Giannis?
Yep.
And just take a swing at having one of the best players in the league, but you need him to not be fat. So
She looks good so far. Off season.
same thing. If we just rewind
I
to
know.
last year,
I know.
it's the exact same thing. I'm going to be cautious with, and he was awesome. Like Zion was so good when he was healthy last year. I think people forget that there was a game.
Did he
I think-
play last year?
Yeah.
Oh,
I think the game that he went out in, he was playing against Joel Embiid, and it was like a mano-a-mano matchup with those two. And I didn't know who was better.
Zion's incredible.
He's
so
good.
It's never been a question of his quality.
Yeah,
It's just the quantity that you get from him.
I know.
The quantity of man.
Quantity of man.
Yes.
Quantity of man.
Uh-huh. Let's go to our next Twitter question. It comes from at Stone Cold S. Adams. Wants to know which Thunder Fringe player would be pounced on if they got waived.
Get pounced.
Trey Man, Jack White, Jerry.
I mean,
Trey Man.
Jack White.
It's Trey Man.
Yeah, it's probably Trey.
They're pouncing.
Get pounced.
He was
Yeah.
a top 20
if they
draft
just
pick, even though it was a reach a little bit.
Yeah, if they just waived Trey, he would get picked up off waivers, I think. Jeremiah Robinson Earl might, just as like a fourth or fifth big for somebody. Maybe the Knicks just want all the Villanova guys,
Yeah,
and so maybe they would pick him up,
maybe.
part of their fraternity.
And then they're going to bring in Jay Wright.
Hey, that could happen. Could happen. I don't know.
Okay.
But yeah.
Here's our next Twitter question. It comes from at Benelephant King. Which is a better song? The Final Countdown or Eye of the Tiger? When you start thinking about these songs, they are very much alike.
They are very much alike. What do you think, Jay?
So it's all about context for me.
Okay.
I'm just going to riff on this for a second, guys.
That's
so
great.
obviously, Eye of the Tiger. First thing that comes to your mind is Rocky.
Yeah.
For me, it's Rocky 4,
Okay.
which in my heart was the best of all the Rockies.
Rocky 4.
Many
Okay.
people will disagree with that. I understand. It's like why, as a child, I also loved Return of the Jedi more than all of the other Star Wars.
It's a good movie.
Not the best, but Child J, it just hit me right in the feelings. The Final Countdown, when I think of that by Europe, I think of one person,
Mm-hmm.
Daniel Bryan.
Job Bluth,
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Will Arnett's character
Yeah.
in Arrested Development. It's
Mhm.
the first time I ever heard that song was in Arrested Development
Yeah.
in the early 2000s.
Oh,
when I
really?
listened to it. Never heard it before then.
Seriously.
And for me, when I think about the feelings that both of those experiences bring forth in me, I have to go with Europe's Final Countdown.
Wow.
See, Final Countdown is also I'm going with. It's what Bryan Danielson, professional wrestler, when he was an independent wrestler before he got into WWE, that's what his walkout song was.
Ah.
Oh, interesting.
And in AEW, in one of the last pay-per-views, he came out to that song. They paid. Did you know the other funny thing about Final Countdown, which I know, the band Europe
Mm-hmm.
hates that song.
Really?
Yes, they hate it. And so the
can see
amount
that.
of money it costs to license it and use it and stuff is astronomical.
Really?
They set it so high because they don't want it used everywhere because they hate it. And people still pay it because it's good.
Wow.
You know, it's odd for me for these bands to dislike their most popular and favorite song.
Yeah.
Like bands like Europe, where it's like, what else did they
Yeah.
do?
What else you got going on?
Well, the
Yeah,
thing
Like
is,
Radiohead. Radiohead doesn't play, they spent like 20 years not playing Creep.
Yeah.
it's because
Now they've come back to it, but they were like, we played that song.
But if
ad nauseum.
if you are that band, you're like, well, we have a bunch of other songs that are better, not
It's-
just as good, but better than that.
I just think there has to be some sort of awareness as a band to
yeah.
say like, no, like, so here's,
It shows zero self-awareness.
here's an example.
Yeah.
I went and saw the Chicks at the Zoo Amphitheater.
Oh, wow.
Hey,
I know what song you're wanting to hear.
I honestly, if it was written or produced after like 2001, nobody wants to hear
No
it.
one. Yeah. You do not want to hear it. Like, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It was like when Paul
agree.
McCartney came to Oklahoma City
Yeah.
and he was like, hey, I got some new stuff. And everybody's like, no.
Please, we didn't come here for that.
Yeah.
and that's you have to have an awareness as a band that it's like, what is our bread and butter? Just play those songs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like
I'm totally with that.
When me and Andrew went about a year or so ago and saw Jimmy Eat World
Yeah.
at Criterion, they knew exactly what the people wanted
It was great.
to hear.
And Dashboard.
Wanted the hits.
Yeah, play the hits, bro.
Third Eye Blind, saw them at Jones Assembly a couple years ago, and same thing. It was like opened up. They just only played songs off their 2 albums that people knew.
That's good.
Yeah,
that's great self-awareness, and people have a great time.
I saw this was a few years ago. I saw Taking Back Sunday at Criterion, and there's one like, all right, guys, we're gonna play some new songs. So if you need to go to the bathroom, now's the time to do it. That's how they
they say it.
Yes,
yeah, brilliant.
And everyone did. The lines to the bar very long.
You can feel the energy in the room shift.
Yeah,
when these bands do that.
Yes,
like I went and saw Foo Fighters at the Zoo Amphitheater. You know what they did? Their hits.
The hits.
Got to play the hits.
It's just if you know. But the problem is with Europe, they have the hit.
They have the hit.
They
one
have
hit wonder.
Hit.
I know there's somebody out there that's a huge Europe fan. It's just like, oh my gosh,
what is wrong with you
You're
guys?
not talking about this song.
My aunt thought the song said, "There's a fire downtown."
There's a fire down.
This is just and the she thought that's what a fire truck sounds like.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
My mom was miss didn't know the lyrics of that Justin Timberlake song "Suit and Tie." You know, well, as long as I've got my suit and tie. Well, she was singing it, but she sang it instead of suit and tie, sang coat and hat. As long as I've got my coat and hat. I was like, what? I was like, the name of the song is Suit and Tie.
That's amazing.
There is how could you possibly get that wrong? You knew it was clothing, but didn't know which 2 pieces of clothing it was?
So on Spotify, Europe,
man,
they have 7 million monthly listeners, and Final Countdown has 521 million streams. Their next one is a song called Carrie that has 211 million. So it's like
still 211 million.
That's pretty good. I've never heard that. Maybe I've heard that song. I don't know. I'm not going to play it though. We've had enough music on this podcast.
Plus, you get us pulled. National anthems, I don't think can get you pulled.
Yeah, we're not going to get shut down.
We're about to find out.
Honestly,
we're about to find out.
I haven't played that long. I'm trying to keep it, pretty.
Yeah, we're still about to find out.
That'll be awesome if they all got pulled down.
Hey, we've had many pod pulled down.
It happens. Okay, guys. Hey, last Twitter question. It's this. Wait.
There's one about
7:30, brah.
Oh, maybe I didn't put it in here.
Nope, you didn't.
I just have to play really quick. Paul George talking about Chet.
Okay.
And then just
okay.
Have you heard this, Luke?
I've seen it referenced, but I don't think I've heard his Charles Barkley impression.
It's very good. Okay, here's him talking about Chet Holmgren.
Who do you got for Rookie of the Year?
It's a lot of good talent. I mean, it's going to come down who's going to play more. I'm going to go Shet. Just because I think he's going to play a ton. They're going to be a winning team. The way they play, it's going to be fun to watch. And so I think he's going to get a lot of coverage because he plays both ends. He blocks shots. He's a little bit more polished, further along, I think, than Wemby is. Because I think, Wemby's going to have a little learning curve. I know Shet didn't play much due to the injury his rookie year. But being in the league, seeing the game up close for a year, it's going to give him that much more of a head start. So I'm going to go and say Shet. I think Shet's going to be the rookie of the year.
He goes at the end, he calls him like Shaq.
I'm going to go Shrek.
I'm going to go Shrek. Well, I mean, at first I thought, okay, maybe perhaps he said it wrong the first time and just, sometimes you're just talking and just a word comes out in a way that
he comes back like Patty Meals.
It's like meals. You just keep going back to the meal.
The meals.
All the meals.
This morning on my way here, I'm going Patty Mills. Patty Mills.
No wonder, 'cause you did it
Mills.
2 weeks in a row.
I was ready this morning. I was doing voice exercises. Woo!
I'm gonna go shit.
I'm gonna go.
I was playing it. I was playing it in the car. I'm like, my kids were like, "That's the S word, right, Dad?"
Yeah, just to be clear.
Shout out to J-Dub who retweeted a really bad joke that I put on the Down to Dunk
Was that you?
Twitter. Yeah.
Shit,
I'm gonna go shit.
man. Oh,
Have you ever mispronounced somebody's name so badly like that so many times?
Patty Meals.
I mean, Meals is definitely Jay's. Have you ever done that to their face? Somebody's name to their face?
We have people in my life that have names that can be pronounced in two different correct ways.
Yeah.
Right. Like Roanna and Roanna. It's like,
Oh, okay.
we're up at the emphasis,
Yeah.
you know. That's one.
so
That's all I got. I
so-
just ran out of.
Yeah.
We got many people, but only one.
Only
that I can
one.
remember.
Many people in my life,
Yeah.
really just one.
I have consults with potential new clients all the time. And
Yeah.
you're walking out to meet them for the first time, and you have their name and like their information, and so you have to just make a decision about how you're going to pronounce the name.
Yeah, definitely.
and I'm wrong often, and I supposed to say, you need to tell me, and we're going like I need to say this out loud,
Yeah.
several times, because if I get
You
it
have to,
wrong
like,
here,
phonetically spell it out.
if I get it wrong here, I will never get it right.
Yeah.
So I get it wrong all the time.
Shit.
It'd be helpful if, like, you know, on most of these, you know, pronunciation guides that you get, it's, you know, does anybody know whenever, like, in a dictionary or whatever, they put like all of the different marks
those
above?
mean?
Like, anybody know those?
No.
My kids have like learned those, but I don't know them.
Yeah, I'm like, so if it has like an accent mark, I'm like,
It's like the where, like
how do you read that?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Shit.
So I need you. What I have to do and stuff like that, or whenever it's like a Greek word or a town in the Bible, is I'm like, I have to spell it out in the word that I would need it to.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's like
without a doubt, that is right. And I will say, I appreciate when people step out and say, no, this is how my name is pronounced.
yeah, you have to do that.
like right away. Because there's some people that don't do that.
But doing it with like a smile on your face, where you're like acknowledging, hey, I know it's hard or complicated.
Yes. I interviewed a guy this week that I said his name wrong from the outset of the interview, and he immediately corrected me, and I said, I like that.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Shit.
shit.
He said shit so many times in this podcast. And I love Podcast P. I think he's done a great job. But
His
shit,
Charles Barkley impersonation was spot on.
It was good.
he's doing great for himself. Chet, you know what? It has us talking about his podcast. You know, if he would have just said Chet, honestly, I don't really care. There's been a lot of like either former or current players that have picked Chet to be Rookie of the Year. I don't care. I really don't care that if they pick him or not. It doesn't matter to me because it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't get him votes. It doesn't get him anything.
Gives us content.
It gives us, sure,
It
whatever.
does give him votes in some kind of backdoor sense. And just the narrative. You know narratives.
He has to play well though.
Yeah,
He's got to be. He's got to be really good.
Yeah.
He's got to be really good. I just think all like the preseason
Backdoor votes.
I figured that's where you just shut down. You just shut down.
all the you know, like preseason, it's great. Shit, but I don't know, man.
Chet.
Like
Shit.
it is just
Shit.
it's far off.
Shit.
Shit.
I want to go shit.
So let's think about words that start with the CH that have the sh versus the ch.
Yeah, like can I have a slice of cheese on my burger?
That's exactly where I was going. Cheese.
You saw that band, the Shicks.
Yeah.
Hey, you
or-
want to play some checkers?
You know what nobody does anymore is they don't write any checks.
Shicks.
I write no checks.
My brother, Shad.
Shad. Yeah.
You should call him Shad.
What's up, Shad?
What's up, Shad?
I'm always sitting down in a chair.
Yep. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
And you can go the opposite
Go the
direction.
other,
It's
it's
like,
like-
oh yeah, that's where I put my lawnmower in my ched.
It's like, I I just took a big stinky shit in
All
the
right.
toilet.
We knew what you.
Yeah,
That's good. That's good.
you're a shithead. See, good.
It's like what a kid does to try to like not cuss.
I
is
know,
they,
like,
you
or
substituting different
In
words.
third grade, when you'd hold your tongue and have to say different things,
Yeah. Apple.
like pirate ship.
Yeah.
And that was huge in third grade. And then we were all like back from recess.
Uh-huh.
Everyone had been holding their tongues and saying pirate ship all recess.
And everybody got strep throat.
And the teacher sat us down, and the person who like had brought it in, his name was Alan. I won't say more than that. She goes, Alan, would you like to hold your tongue and say what you've been telling everyone else to say? And he was so embarrassed.
He said, "Heck yeah, I do.
He said, yes.
I have to do this in front of everybody. Let's go."
Uh-huh.
Luke, you got any final questions for us?
Are you miffed? Are you paid?
Miffed and peeved.
You guys murphed?
Yeah, I told you guys before the pod. So I have Edmond, historically hard water. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
true.
Oh, yeah. Like
Yeah.
brutal. It like destroys plumbing and stuff. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, you don't want it too soft.
I
You ever
know.
had too soft.
I would
water?
like somewhere in between.
What's
Just
wrong?
it's
Looking
so-
for a middle
What does it
ground.
do if it's too soft?
It's so slippery.
Yeah, you
Like
just
you're slipping around.
in the shower.
Oh, it's
In the
terrible.
shower.
In the
You're it's
shower.
In the shower.
Like you cannot It's really bad.
Yeah.
I take
well,
hard water any day.
I wouldn't.
No.
Because I experienced this. But what happens is I get like calcium buildup in my coffee pot. And-
Calcium.
Yeah, I get calcium buildup in my coffee pot, and it makes it to where when I push brew, and it doesn't. If I put 4 cups of coffee in there, it'll brew 2 cups and then just leave water sitting in the little reservoir.
Oh yeah.
So
It's
every
not
time
good.
that happens, I have to get vinegar, and I run like one little run of white vinegar, and it kind of cleans out some of that calcium,
Mm-hmm.
and then it runs normally. The issue is vinegar is the most potent
Oh
substance on the earth.
yeah, it is.
And so you put vinegar in anything, and I have to like multiple different brews to try to get the vinegar taste out. Didn't apparently do enough last night. Brewed some coffee this morning, threw it in my cup, headed over here.
No.
Just in my mouth, I have like a tinge of vinegar because coffee is like number 2 on the most potent
It's bitter.
taste and smells, and
It's better.
vinegar in it, and I just have a little bit of vinegar in it, so it
Yeah.
kind of murphed and perfed.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not great. That's
No.
not great. Oh man, murphed, puffed.
no, I'm not.
What about heat sickness?
Got too hot. I played one day in Scottsdale. I played golf, and I got heat exhaustion or whatever it is, and I was so out of it. I'd slept I fell asleep at like 4 in the afternoon. Didn't wake up until 4 a.m. Got up and got on my plane. Felt great at the airport,
Yeah,
Wow.
but man, I was down.
You have that ability though. Like you have that sleeping ability.
Oh yeah,
He has since we were kids.
Just ask my Pokemon Sleep app.
How's that going?
Great. I cheat on it. So about 2 hours before bed, I set it for sleep and I put it on my bed, which is good because I'm not laying up at night on scrolling through the TikTok. So it
Yeah.
actually is helping,
That's good.
but I'm cheating. So
that
please
is.
don't please don't tell the fine people at Pokemon Sleep.
Luke used to sleep when we were like in middle school until like noon.
One day in college, I slept till 5. Woke up and it was dinner. It was awesome. Missed
Wow.
all my classes. Missed all of them. And the day before, I was like, I'm going to sleep. I'm not setting an alarm. I'm not waking up until I have to. I'm missing all my classes. And I did. It was great.
That sounds great. All right. Thanks so much for listening to our show. Hope you guys have a great weekend. We will talk to you guys again on Monday.